Alright, chapter 12, page 129, hang cleans. So the first step in performing the hang clean is for an athlete to select the proper weight to use. The athlete must have a weight with which he can control and be explosive while maintaining proper form. The athlete must make sure that the weight is enough to be challenging for the amount of repetitions he is trying to accomplish. This exercise is all about drive and explosion. There are 4 phases of the hang clean: stance and posture. The athlete's feet must be hip width apart at the start of the clean. His grip should be about as wide as his shoulder. An easy way to select the grip is to have the athlete set his feet first and then squat down to the bar resting on the platform. He then should reach just outside of his knees and grasp the bar. With the head up and facing forward, shoulders back, chest out, arms straight and locked, with elbows turned outward and the knuckles facing down, the athlete should then stand up with the weight in hand and assume the correct stance before attempting to clean the weight. Eccentric phase. To initiate the eccentric phase of the hang clean, the athlete starts moving the weight downward towards his knees. To do this, he must push his hips back and let the shoulders come forward and maintain a slight bend in the knees. The bar should remain in contact with the thighs during the entire descent and stop just above the kneecaps. The athlete should keep this posture the same during the part of the movement. The head should be up and the shoulders back and the arms are still straight and locked. The athlete should be in line with or slightly forward of the bar. Having the shoulders behind the bar will result in the athlete not being able to properly drive his hips and will decrease the explosive power and compromise the lift. Taking a deep breath on this phase will help start the concentric phase. Concentric phase. During this phase, the athlete will forcefully drive his hips and start the upward movement of the weight. After the proper descent is accomplished, the athlete explosively drives his hips up and into the bar, essentially performing a vertical jump with the weight. That's a good way to put it. Never thought about it. He must make sure the bar travels straight upward along his body and not in an outward arcing motion. What the athlete is trying to accomplish here is what is called the triple extension. The ankles, the knees, and hips must be completely and forcefully extended to help with the acceleration of the weight. That should be completely standing straight up and even on his toes if this is done properly. At the top of the extension, the athlete will then bend his arms in an upright row motion as opposed to a reverse curl motion to help assist the weight even higher for the catch phase of the hang clean. After the concentric phase is completed, the athlete must then catch the wave. To complete the lift, he must be completely extended and must drive his elbows rapidly under the bar and think about pulling himself under the bar instead of the bar into him. His hands will remain in contact with the bar so they can rotate around to get the proper position. The athlete can also widen his stance from hip width to shoulder width while slightly turning the toes outwards. Flexing these will help drop under the bar to assist the catch. The bar should come to rest on the front deltoids along the upper chest near the clavicle, and the hand should be still grasping the bar with the fingers slightly extended. The elbow should be up and pointing forward and the end of the catch. Note, after all the phases are complete, the athlete will lower the weight down and rest his feet and adjust his posture so that he can properly perform the next repetition. Due to the nature of this lift, the athlete will either need to use straps to help secure his grip on the bar or drop the bar and reset after each rep. Coaching tips: keeps the arms straight and locked all the way through the lift until the catch. Bending the arms during the first pull reduces power production in the legs and will negatively affect outcome. Keep the arms straight and locked all the way through the lift until the catch. Bending the arms during the first pull reduces power production in the legs and will negatively affect the outcome. Keep the head straight and looking forward and don't throw it backwards during the hip drive. Ensure the hips have been completely extended and driven hard through the bar. This exercise is all about hip drive and explosion. To leave any flexion in the hips just leads to less overall development. One way to tell if the hips are driven all the way through is to see if the athlete has hopped backwards. If his feet are further back on the platform than when he started, then he was not driven his hips completely and has compensated by pulling the bar backwards and into himself during the catch instead of pulling himself under the bar. Ah, very interesting. Yes. Uh-oh. Who's that? Ray. Alright, we'll stop there perhaps. Yeah, that one took a while. So that was just the hang clean, right? Yep, hang clean, the different phases and the coaching tips. See ya.